This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, and verse 14. The second woe is past, and, behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Revelation, chapter 11, and verse 14. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Kodesh. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, starting with 144,000 men. All right, and the rest of the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. Shalom unto you, known as the house of David. All right. My name is Brother Haran, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right. And I have an article here I wanted to go into real quick. Okay, and going back to the prophecy that we just read, that the second woe is past, the first couple of woes, which represents the first two world wars, all right, have passed, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Okay, and a lot of people are not aware, a lot of Americans, I should say, are not aware of the very fact that indeed we are months away from the third world's war. Okay, and this article is going to be another example of why, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai sent his men down on this earth to give that warning pertaining to Ezekiel 3 verse 17. All right, that at some point, that warning that you're being warned about will come to pass. Okay, there's a reason why we do videos constantly every day to give you the warning. Okay, the Lord said whether they hear or whether they forbear, our job is to go out there and give them the warning. And only the elect are actually going to be the ones to hear. But the rest, they're going to forbear the truth. They're going to forbear the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. They're going to pull the shoulder. They're going to be rebellious. They're going to be unfaithful. They're going to be unbelieving. Okay? And the Apostle Paul said in Romans chapter 3, verse 3, so what if some did not believe? Okay? Does that make the faith of the Most High without effect? The Most High forbid. All right? So we have a mission, and we're just based on a mission, and that's it. Okay? And what the world thinks of, America is the greatest country on earth. America has lost its greatness since the 60s and 70s. Okay? Ever since the truth came out, America has lost her greatness. All right? America has become the laughing stock of the world right now. And we're at the bottom of America. Right now, we're seeing the dregs at the bottom of it. America is at the stage where, now you lift up, when something is rotten, and it's been hiding underneath some type of shit for a long time, and you lift it up and that stench, yeah, that's America right now. The more things are being revealed, the more people are looking, they're closing their eyes like, oh, it's too much, I can't see this, I can't look at this. Or they're closing their nose like, oh, that's just stink. That's America. Okay? And the only thing that's going to rectify this issue is by fire. Okay, that's how you purge away all the impurities. And America is just filled with straight up impurities. America is called, the melting pot. Okay? It's a melting pot because it's known as what? The city of confusion. Babylon the Great. Okay? And it's filled with a whole bunch of abominations all in one place, man. Different philosophies, different lifestyles, different beliefs. Okay? Different ideologies. All in one. How does that even work? That's confusion. What's the right way? What's the wrong way? Everybody believes they can do whatever the hell they want to do. America is a land where it promotes so-called freedom. But not freedom to do the right thing, but freedom to do the wrong thing. Okay? All inclusive, meaning what? All wickedness are included in this. All right? People think it's all inclusive, meaning that, you're accepted as you are and all this extra shit. No. All inclusive is straight up wickedness. Because the Most High does not believe in all inclusive. The only thing he believes in all inclusive is when the missiles drop. There's all inclusive. Whoever's going to be down here, you're going to get cooked. All right? And the cooking is coming. Guaranteed. It says nuclear war with Russia may now be, quote, inevitable as talks of U.S. targets surface. There you go. And those targets, I can guarantee you right now that in the past, brothers have done videos talking about these cities going to get hit. These cities going to get hit. You know why? Because the scriptures tell us that America, the whole entire continent, The whole entire country of America is going to be dissolved by a thermonuclear fire. So it doesn't matter what state you're in or what condition you're in, you're going to be destroyed when the missiles drop if you're not beamed up by the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay? So this stuff is getting deadly serious and it's getting hot quick. Okay? The reality of people's demise is coming fast. Okay? And that only makes us understand and believe even more in these prophecies, because guess what? That means that the MOTBs were right at the door. Okay? And the Lord is passing judgment left and right. Look what happened to this guy, not so polite. Okay? The Lord was real rude to that nigga. You saw what happened to him yesterday. Okay? For those who haven't heard, the so-called guy named Brother Polite, he got sentenced to prison for, 7 years or some shit? You know, and this happened on the Sabbath. You know? So, hey, man, heavy things are happening. Okay? The Heavenly Father is bringing out that judgment on a full scale. All right? And he's coming for all you wicked-ass niggas, man. Okay? He's coming for all you wicked-ass niggas. There's no such thing as, oh, I didn't know. The Lord said every idle word. Every idle word. And a lot of you niggas you've been sending out not just words, you've been sending out paragraphs. All right? Letters, emails, you know, newspapers, magazines, okay? Lectures of bullshit. And the Lord about to call your card. He's about to pull your card. Okay? Polite gonna be in them prisons until the missiles drop. He's gonna be literally behind bars if he makes it that far. And then the missiles gonna drop on his stupid ass. It says most Americans have absolutely no idea how close we are to nuclear war. Our politicians confidently assure us that the war in Ukraine will never spark a nuclear conflict, and the mainstream media in the Western world rarely talks about such a scenario. But over in Russia, things are completely different. They regard the war in Ukraine as an existential conflict between Russia and NATO, and there is constant talk on Russian television about the possibility of nuclear war. Here is the latest example that I have come across. It says a Kremlin propagandist has issued the latest nuclear threat against the West regarding the war in Ukraine, warning that the U.S. could be in danger of a Russian missile attack. Igor Korochenko, editor of the newspaper National Defense and regular guest on the Russia 1 channel, where guests have repeatedly called for strikes against Ukraine's allies, took exception to criticism of Russian conduct in the war. During his recent appearance on the Russia 1 channel, Korochenko openly talked about a first strike, which would involve hitting targets on the territory of the United States of America. The most important message we should send to the Americans, this is a quote, the most important message we should send to the Americans is that we will not wage war with you in Europe, he said in a clip subsequently posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. It's just a stupid fucking name. X. What the fuck is that? All right. By Ukrainian Internal Affairs Advisor Anton Gerashenko. Okay. Quote, in response to your attacks on Russian military or civilian facilities, and this is going back, he's talking about Americans and how they do it. They masquerade like, oh, Ukraine is doing it. Oh, we're just sending aid to Ukraine. No, they are dressing up as Ukrainian soldiers. Okay? You got NATO troops dressing up as Ukrainian soldiers, and they're using Ukraine as a proxy to fight against Russia. Okay? And all these other nations that are part of NATO are also part of this shit. But ultimately, according to prophecy, they all going to turn on this bitch America. Okay, that whore. Why? Because they're seeing that, yo, it's because of you. First of all, our economies are going down because of America. Okay? The threat of war is brewing daily because of America's games. Okay? Their foreign policy, so to speak. Okay? These countries are sacrificing their people, their resources, all because of what? America's interests. See? And they're getting affected by it, but America not so much. You see? Soon they saying they're going to be locking down things. Biden came out last year and said, there's going to be a new world order out there, and America must take the lead or some bullshit. So they're basically saying that the American Edomite got to be the top of this so-called New World Order that's coming. These nations ain't gonna be with that. They're not gonna accept that shit. Well, they're gonna look at America like, yo, first of all, you're becoming weaker and weaker. You've become like us. So why the fuck should we still listen to what you gotta say? Well, no, we're gonna join Russia. We're gonna join the nations that are in the BRICS. They seem like their economy is running smoothly. You see? So America is gonna be in dire straits. And it's gonna be a wrap. Okay? It says, in response to your attacks on Russian military or civilian facilities, the first strike will be a preventative limited strike against targets on the territory of the United States of America, he told the anchor of 60 Minutes, Yevgeny Popov. Okay? Last week, Russia announced that its Sarmat strategic missile system, which can reach the U.S., had been put on combat duty. That is pretty stunning. But Korochenko's remarks are tame compared to what retired Major General Alexander Vladimirov is saying. Vladimirov is the author of Russia's, quote, war Bible, and he is entirely convinced that a nuclear war, including the United States and Russia, has become inevitable. Nuclear war is the inevitable conclusion of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. There you go. So that Ukraine shit was really the beginning of World War III. You see, that's when the Lord said, okay, start getting ready, start getting these nations ready to enter into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay? And it's going to end with what? Nuclear war. Okay? It says nuclear war is the inevitable conclusion of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. A Russian general, right? A Russian general who wrote the nation's war Bible has warned. The chilling forecast came from retired Major General Alexander Vladimirov, who penned Russia's 3-volume book called The General Theory of War. Why didn't this make headline news all over the United States? That's a good question, right? Well, because if we bring it out, we're going to be called conspiracy theorists. We're going to be called anti-Semitism. We're going to be called hate group, right? We're going to be called peddling fear. Meanwhile, we're just giving you a warning. You should be afraid of the shit that's coming. All right, you should be afraid of the shit that's coming. We're not just saying this. You see, that's one thing. That's what's wrong with Americans. They're so secure in vanity. You know what I'm saying? It's just their perception of security. That's what makes it great for them. Niggas go around saying, "Oh, we're fighting for our freedoms." Motherfucker, America is not the only country that has freedoms, bro. Japan has freedoms. Britain has freedoms. All these different countries have freedoms. What makes America's freedom so great? And who are you fighting freedoms from? Huh? America's been independent since the 1700s. What the fuck are these niggas still talking about? We're fighting for your freedoms. These people still believe this shit. And that's why the Lord gonna send Russia to come bomb this motherfucker, man. He gonna blow this place to smithereens, man. Okay? Your stupid fucking little missile triad system is not going to defend for shit. America's gonna be nuked and it's gonna be destroyed. Point blank period. Within 1 hour, America's done. Wiped off the face of the earth. Okay? So if you're in America, you should be shaking your boots when you hear words like that. Because we can prove it in the scriptures. Okay? The Bible prophecies. Just like it's prophesied that the Third World War is coming, and now you got war generals coming out and saying, yes, this is inevitable. Inevitable? You know what that means? That means you can't escape it. It's going to happen whether you like it or yes, period. And we're excited for that. We're happy for that. Because that spells the end of the captivity of the nation of Israel. Okay? The Lord said, the scriptures tell you, all right, in the book of 2nd Ezra, it says what? That Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay? The end of the world, like how people say, oh, it's the end of the world, it's the end of the world. Who's at the end of the world? Who brings the end of this American world? It's by way of the Russians, the bear. Okay? Like it tells you that in the book of, I believe the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter. All right? Anyway, let's keep going. It says, why didn't this make headline news all over the United States? According to Vladimirov, Nuclear weapons will be used in this war, and he wants his country to actively prepare for such an outcome so that they will have the best chance to survive. Your president is not doing that. He's busy whispering into little children's ears talking about, let's go get some ice cream, daddy's here. That's what your president is doing. Decrepit as all hell, doesn't know what the hell is going on. If that's the real Biden that is. I believe that's a robot, but again, that's just me. Okay? It says, the sooner our politicians and leadership realize this, okay, and they're not going to realize anything because they don't live in reality. The only way you can realize something is if you're facing reality. And guess what? Reality is the best teacher to bring you to reality. You know, that's when you realize shit, that your delusions don't work in reality. Okay? Your false sense of security is all, again, false. Okay? Your belief in your experts and your scientists in America is the greatest country and all this shit is just mottos. They just say these things. It's not real. Okay? These countries don't respect America. Neither do they respect Americans. Neither do they like Americans. They don't fuck around with Americans. They don't like Americans because you motherfuckers are stupid and you're proud. Okay? And your government knows you're stupid and you're proud. And so you know who knows all these things? Yahweh Bashem, Raash-Shar. Okay? Let's get a quick precept to back that up. Because the Lord said he's going to bring the judgment. He's going to be the one to destroy this place. And there's a lot of destruction to be made. Okay? There's a lot of destruction to be made. Okay? Let's get this real quick. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 9. It says, behold, the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. You hear that? So for all you stupid Christians out there, you pagans out there who think, oh, God does not hate the sinner, he hates the sin. Bro, that doesn't even make sense. How does a sin happen without the sinner? And we're of the mindset that if there's a problem, you got to find out where the problem is coming from and you cure the problem. Right? There's a reason why America is going to be destroyed. See? The whole world is not going to be destroyed, even though the whole world has drank of the philosophies of America. But the Lord is going to destroy the place that the cancer is emanating from. And then he's going to go around and institute that order through his men. But you got to cut off the head of the snake. Okay? That's America. All right? The whore that sitteth on many waters. That's America. America is the one that's pushing all these fuck-ass philosophies. Look what's going on in these churches. Look what's going on in these schools. Look what's going on in the fucking military. Okay? I saw a video the other day, and there was a parent who dropped off her child to school, right? And all you see is just a whole bunch of women. I'm like, yo, what is this? Like, what? Do you notice that shit? That most teachers are all women? How many men teachers do you have nowadays? You see, especially in the lower grades like kindergarten, pre-K, you know, like first, second, third, fourth grade, lower classes. It's all women. And that's why you have all these young men being so effeminate. There's no men in there to discipline these little brats, man. You know, there's no male energy in there to balance everything out. It's all female estrogen running around. Okay? Pushing these children into all these weirdo, stupid, nonsensical philosophies, man. You know, when you look at the school board, it's all filled with women. You look at the classrooms, it's filled with women. The principals are women. The teachers are women. The presidents are women. Everything is women, 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 everywhere. Wait a minute. You see? And that's why everything is in disarray. You see? I remember the first time I went to school, I was crying. I was like, yo, get me up out of here. I don't want to be here. You see? Because the teacher was a female. There's a whole bunch of kids that I don't even know. I'm like, who the fuck? Why are we here? Till today, I never got comfortable with school. School is always my number one enemy is school. It's just something I've always hated. And now it makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world. That shit is just nothing but an indoctrination camp. That's all it is. You don't learn shit. So going back to the article again, and Isaiah 13 verse 9 is synonymous with Revelation 14, 9, 10, 11, 12. That the Lord said, those who are going to take that MOTB, y'all are the sinners. And he said he's going to destroy you. In the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. By what? Fire and brimstone. It's a rap. It's a fucking rap, man. And we can't wait for that. Okay? These people are going to feel the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You're going to feel that shit. You have to. The Lord said, the scriptures tell you now, 2nd Ezra, that what? They shall know it after death by pain. Okay? They will know it after death by pain. So here comes the pain. Okay? The Lord says, what? Just the beginning of sorrows. Just the beginning. You people don't know. It says, the sooner our politicians and leadership realize this, the sooner we start to train troops and the population for this, the more chances we will have for survival, which means victory. Delusions, bro. It says, sadly, Vladimirov is seeing things quite clearly. If we stay on the path that we are on, it will result in the unthinkable. That is why so many of us have been advocating for peaceful solutions in Ukraine. Unfortunately, Joe Biden and his minions just keep escalating matters. They are deeply frustrated with how poorly Ukraine's counteroffensive has fared, and they are pushing the Ukrainians to make more of an effort to achieve a breakthrough in the south. Half a dozen U.S. officials who spoke on condition of anonymity told the New York Times, why don't they put their names out? Why don't they put their faces out? So we know exactly who's doing all this talking. Let's hear the bullshit they're going to say. You going to talk anonymously, but let's hear what you're going to say. It says, they told the New York Times and other outlets that they are starting to question some of Ukraine's military tactics, including where on the front line they are placing their combat units. It doesn't matter where they're placing it. Russia is still going to blow this shit away. Okay? Same thing with America. It doesn't matter where your land is, what you got, what technology you got, what defense missile system, whatever you got. The Lord is going to blow America into smithereens. You can't hide from it. Okay? And it's just a matter of time. Time that is not on your side. All right? It says, Ukrainian commanders are dividing their forces equally between the east and the south of the country when they should be consolidating them more in the south, the officials said. So why don't you go do that? Why don't you go do that? It says they urge Ukraine to push through the vast minefields left behind by Russia in the area, even if this means losing more soldiers and equipment in the process, according to the reports. Why is America so invested in Ukraine? That's the question everyone should be asking. Why? Isn't Ukraine closer to Russia? What does America have to do with this? Like they always do. They always butt their heads in problems and businesses that don't belong to them. Okay? And they end up getting cooked. And they go around waging war on people saying, oh, see, look what they did to us. You went over there. Like America is the one country that will go into a different land, invade their land, okay, and then tell the world that look at these people. Look, this is why we gotta come into their land. Look what they're doing. They're fighting back. Look, they're fighting back. That's America. Uninvited, but they'll find a way to get there. To instill their own puppet government. This is just wickedness at an all-time high. They kill civilians and then they blame it on other people. Okay, all this shit is coming out. See? The way in which you got your power is based on deception, cruelty, lies, murder. Okay? Mass murder. That's the record of the so-called white man today. That's his history. That's your identity. You're a murderer. Okay? And these nations are waking up to your shit. All right? And when the Lord turns up, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It says, but what are the Ukrainians supposed to do? The Russian defenses are extremely well prepared. Tens of thousands of Ukrainian men have already been slaughtered during fruitless attempts to break through Russian lines. Look at that. It says, meanwhile, the Russians have been making significant gains on the Eastern Front. The Ukrainian army is facing a major strategic defense on the Eastern Front as it shows obvious signs of collapse along the entire defensive axis from Kupiansk to These names are interesting. Let's just move on. It says, as we can see, the situation in the Kupiansk and Krasnolimansky directions is becoming more and more difficult for the Ukrainian formations. It is no coincidence that Kiev forces in the Kharkiv region, with the support of the SBU, which is Security Service of Ukraine. I don't know how that makes sense. SBU and Security Service of Ukraine. How the hell? Anyway, conduct door-to-door walks in a territory. Almost all men, even the elderly, are mobilized into the ranks of Ukrainian formations. And then it goes on and on into, the formations and stuff, and so on and so forth. It says, needless to say, this move obviously infuriated the Chinese. China Foreign Ministry on Thursday expressed strong dissatisfaction and firm opposition at the arms sale, which it said had harmed China's sovereignty and security interests and undermined peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. Okay, and this is going into the Biden administration had approved or has approved funding for the first time ever transfer of the U.S. military equipment to Taiwan under a program typically saved for sovereign nations, according to a notification sent to Congress on Tuesday. All right. Needless to say, the move. Okay, we read that. It urged the U.S. to cease enhancing U.S. Taiwan military connections. So America is also in Taiwan over there. Once again, what are you doing over there? I don't see China over here in Gulf of Mexico and shit like that. It says, and stop creating tensions across the Taiwan Strait. That's what America does. Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbing told a regular news conference. All right. And it goes on and on and on and on. But again, the point is what? Just like the article title says, nuclear war with Russia may now be inevitable as talks of U.S. targets surface. Okay? And that's exactly what's going to happen. America is going to be destroyed, man. Okay? She's on her way to being destroyed. There ain't no way around it. There's no two ways around it. Okay? There's a book of Psalm chapter 94, verse 23. It says, and he shall bring upon them their own iniquity and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, the Lord Yahweh our power shall cut them off. Okay? And it starts with you Edomites, you Rothschilds, you top elite bankers who have enough power to influence the direction in which the world goes in. And you chose no other way but rebelliousness and Satanism. All right? That's the direction in which you want the world to go in. Okay, that tells you that in the book of 2 Thessalonians, all right, that he opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped. Okay, and that's who? One person on the face of the earth that does that shit? Esau Edom. Okay, Esau Edom. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 22. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. Okay, the Lord said he's going to destroy the sinners that are up out of it. He's going to uproot the transgressors out of this earth. Okay, for destruction, by destruction. Okay, with destruction. All right, that's what's coming. Okay, that's what's coming, and this is all leading to what? The time of trouble. The time of trouble. Okay, the time of trouble. All right. So hey, man, just keep an eye out, man. You're starting to hear the World War III rumblings. Okay, this time the war generals are coming out and saying that this is inevitable, and once you hear that, you know it's go time. Okay, you know it's go time, man. So we'll see how the Lord plays this thing out. All right, but we know through the spirit and power of Raash-Shar that this is definitely leading to the MOTB. Okay, meaning we are closer and closer to the MOTB. Okay, than people think. All right, because it's once this thing is up and running, World War III is going to be following right after that. Okay, so we got months. We got months to see how these devils are going to play this thing out, man. But it's all going to fulfill biblical prophecy. Okay, it's all going to fulfill biblical prophecy. All right, let me see if I can get one more precept, and then we're going to close it out. All right. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, and let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say, I am strong. Okay, and what is that talking about? That's talking about these nations, all right, investing their money, their resources. No longer are they doing the investments in economy, okay, agriculture, and so on and so forth. Okay, but now they're investing in what? Military. They're investing in nuclear power. Okay, a lot of countries are investing in the ability to seamlessly get engaged in war without putting their men in the forefront. Technological advancements and so on and so forth. All right. And back then, you had the plowshares, the pruning hooks. These are tools for agriculture. The Lord said, beat them into what? Into swords and into spears. Those are war instruments. So modern day war instruments is what we're talking about. The missiles, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. It says, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Okay, so the Lord is going to assemble all these nations, these heathens. Remember, it says heathens, oh, you heathens. So everyone who's not an Israelite, or anyone who's an Israelite but lives and acts like these other heathens, actually believes that they are a heathen, the Lord going to treat you as such. Okay? He's only looking for his elect. Everyone who's part of the non-elect, you're going to be cooked if you're here in America. Or if your ass end up in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Middle East, you're going to be cooked, all right, to a crisp. All right? It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, which means what? Yahweh Shaphat, the Lord's judgment. Okay? For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. All right? So that time is coming, baby. That time is coming. All right. So anyway, I'm going to leave it off there. Lord willing, you were edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodesh, the water Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Shalom.